Hi, this is Carrie Mubarak at wooingnature.life, and this is your July reading for July. This is for all of the people who are born under the Ducks Fly Moon. So that is from 9/23 to 10/23. So that would be my Libras. So Libra, what I'm going to be doing today is reading a medicine wheel reading, and I will be pulling an animal spirit card for you, and then I'll also be pulling from the shaman's deck for the rest of the reading. I will also read from the World Spirit Tarot today for your tarot reading, and we will finalize the reading with Alana Fairchild's Sacred Rebels. So we'll start with the medicine wheel reading, and we'll start with our animal spirit. And your animal spirit for the month of July is the moth spirit. Very powerful energy here, because the moth is a transformative animal as well. It's also an animal that usually operates we associate it with the nighttime or with the dark. So you may be doing some shadow work in July, but we'll check and see about that. But the shadow work is there for you to transform, for you to change, for you to rise above your situation. You have to have keen eyes. You have to have keen eyes and be observant. Also, the moth is associated with being drawn to the light. So certainly if you're doing shadow work, the ultimate end game is about light. It's about going toward the light. It's about understanding both the dark and the light, and being able to have a greater understanding of your light side and your dark side, or understand how to stay in the light or maintain your light ways or your light disposition. I told you I was having difficulty with my words. All right, so in the South, we've got lessons. This is the place of lessons, of growth. It's how you learn how to trust. This card is many paths. So there are many ways to get to what you're trying to get to. And again, you are focusing right now on your shadow work. So there's many paths and many ways to get there. You just need to pick one, or you may decide to explore more than one, but don't feel like you have to be tied to one thing. That's the lesson that you're learning right now. I am seeing those paths, but I'm seeing also like a rank and file. So there are steps and there is an order to it. And so what you're learning about right now, Libra, is the order of things. And the order of things is going to, when I say the order of things, I'm talking about there is an order to what you have to learn. Okay, so you're doing your shadow work, but you have to do it in a certain way, and that's why they're giving you these paths. I'm feeling like some of these paths are probably old paths. It could be a shamanic path. It could be some ancient teachings of some sort that you're being drawn to or toward. Could be a meditative practice of some sort. It could be some kind of cultural norm or a ritual of some sort. It could be any of that. But the main thing is that you have to follow the order of that in order to be able to get the fullness of the lesson there. And so that's what you're going through right now. So in the place of the West, which is the looks within place, we have the Andean cross. The Andean cross is similar to the medicine wheel itself in that there's a circle, or there's a center where the portal is. That means that's where the spiritual energy and information is coming through. And then the four corners or the four directions are like the four directions in the medicine wheel, where there are things that you have to learn, there's things that you have to review, there's aspects of yourself that you have to look at that are associated with your family, with your culture, with your ancestry. And then there's also wisdom that you're gaining, and then there's new insight that you're gaining. And all of that comes through the spiritual work that you're doing, again associated with the shadow work of the moth, and also the path that you're taking. So whatever you're drawn to right now, just pay really close attention to that. Don't ignore it, because those lessons and those teachings are really carrying you spiritually. So in the north, where we have the spiritual connection and the place of completion and wisdom, we have the time master. So some of you all are doing some time management. You're looking at like everything that you have going on and where you're going to fit it. So you're becoming a master of time management. Time management is going to be very important for you in July because you have all of this work here that's doing. This is some heavy spiritual work. So if you have to go to work every day and then you have to come home and do spiritual work, then you're going to have to carve out the time to do so. Also, in talking about time, it's about waiting on the right timing, understanding that timing is everything. I'm seeing the number 8 in the infinity symbol, so we're talking about some manifestation here, as well as, and we're also talking about some of your ideas and some of your visions, that the vision that you are formulating for yourself. But you're going to have to be patient with the timing because this stuff comes first. You got to take care of this stuff first before you get to the place where you then are mastering that. So in the meantime, you're going to be working on that. You're going to be working toward that. But in the end, like maybe toward the end of July, you'll start to see where things are coming together more. And then in the east, which is about new beginnings, we have the heart of the sky. So I feel like this is leading you to some higher places within yourself. And also the sky is the limit. It's helping you see where you may be limiting, where you may have been limiting yourself or limiting the scope of what you can do. I always feel like even when we think we have a really great grand idea, that Spirit has this much bigger idea for us or has a different plan. Like Spirit knows more than what you do. And so you can, with your limitations, put out in the universe what it is that you want or that you desire, your vision, but then there's going to be a bigger vision coming towards you, and it is in the place of your heart. It is something that you feel drawn to, and I think also that it's something that you've been thinking about for a while, or that you have wanted for a while, but you just didn't know how to pull all the pieces together to make that happen. And so it looks like July would be the time for that. So that's good news for you, Libra. Glad to see that coming. All right, so moving right along to the tarot. I'm reading from the World Spirit Tarot today. And we'll see what's happening. We've got the Judgment card coming in off the bat. Judgment is about timing. Again, we talked about the time master in the north. And so to me, judgment is about timing. It is, but it's also about alignment too. And it's also about atonement too. So depending on where you are in the process, could be a time to atone, could be a time to ascend, could also be a time for you to just be still and be patient and wait for the right timing to come. But while you are waiting, you're also processing. You're also like purging and getting rid of old thoughts and karmic debt and anything else that may be hindering you. And as that completes, then you're going into the Sage of Swords place. Now the Sage of Swords represents mastery. Whenever you get to the sage position, it represents an area of mastery. Your area of mastery, of course, is in the place of the mind, because you are an air sign, Libra. So it seems natural that you would come into that place. But we also have the Sage of Pentacles here, which is a mastery over the physical. So when I talked about the Time Master, and I was saying that I saw the number 8 and infinity, and that's associated with manifestation, then these two cards are also associated with that. The Pentacles is when you actually bring your ideas and the concepts that are in your head down to the ground level, where you can actually activate other people and yourself and money and, you know, things, objects, what have you. Whatever it is that you need, resources that you need to get done what you desire to do, so that you can do what it is that you desire to do. And that's what we're talking about right now. Excuse me. All right, so we've got the Four of Swords here. The Four of Swords is about your timeouts, what's happening during your timeout. And what's happening during your timeout is you've got to um, rest, and you have to also focus your spiritual energy. That could be happening during sleep. It could be happening during your sleep time. So pay attention to your dreams. But you also need to balance out the work that you're doing with rest time, because you can't just grind and not take a time out for yourself and not take time out to rest, because what's happening, Libra, is you're not assimilating what's coming in. You're not able to assimilate it. Everything has to be able to assimilate. And we are in a heavy ascension process period now. So if you're not if you're not resting well, and you're not taking the time out to like declutter, like take stuff off your mind, like literally don't think about things, or if you don't take time out to meditate, then the new stuff is going to be around you, but you're not going to know exactly how to put the pieces together. So that's why you have to sleep, and you have to dream, and you have to ascertain information from the dream. You have to rest, and when your brain rests, then that makes more room for the downloads that are coming that you need. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles, which tells me that you're going to be fine-tuning. I think you'll be fine-tuning yourself first. That's the main thing. Fine-tuning your own work. You may need a guide for that. Somebody who has been down that road themselves and who can watch and see what you're doing, and also offer you advice about what to do next. Again, we have the Swords energy coming up here with the Seer. That's a messenger card. The message again is about what's happening in your mind. It's your mental acuity. It's your mental processes. It's the things that are stirring around in your brain. I'm feeling like that's also what you have to get a rest from too. I also feel like, again, this is what you're gaining mastery over. The best way to gain mastery over the mind is meditation, because you have to be aware of your thoughts. You have to be aware of what's behind your thoughts, and then you also have to be cognizant of, when it's too much and when you've been thinking too much. And then you have to know what thoughts you need to get rid of or not dwell on, and then the thoughts that you have to put action to, in order to make something manifest. Eight of Pentacles is about manifestation, but manifestation through hard work. So the message is, get your mind right. Free your mind and your ass will follow. That's what people say. All right, so I've got the Emperor here, which is new order, being able to take command of your situation. Remember, I said take control of your thoughts. The Emperor then manifests itself in your physical form as well. So, once your thoughts change and your mind changes, and you start to get in control of stuff, and you start to bring in the resources that you need and doing the work that you need to do to manifest, then that's going to create room for a new order or a new set of circumstances. You are going to be in a higher position. You are going to, and when you're in a higher position, and when I say higher, I don't mean like, there's not very many words in the English language that will allow you to really speak in terms of that which is spiritual, because that which is spiritual is not about higher or lower necessarily. We use those words so that we can understand them, but there really is no higher or lower. There is just what's further along on your journey as opposed to what you've already done. Okay, so you're getting new information, you're gaining new information, so that means you are edifying yourself. You are graduating to a new level, and when you graduate to a new level, you're going to see things differently, because you're going to be at a different you're going to have a different purview, because you're going to be at a different precipice. Like your perspective is going to be different. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? So gaining new perspective, getting a handle on your thoughts, becoming a master of time and also a master of your thoughts as well. That's really positive, Libra. But it seems like that's going to be quite a bit of work for you in July. Like you're going to be working out some things, some internal work. Just good. Nothing wrong with some internal work. All we have is time. I think some people want to get things done by a certain time, or, you know, they have it in their head, well, I want to finish this by this time. But timing is everything, and you're learning a little bit about timing. Not a little bit, you're learning a lot about timing. All right, so the card for you today is Going Beyond Normal. I love this card, especially since everybody's been talking about the new normal, the new normal, the new normal. It's time to go past that, get beyond the norm. Whether it's new or old, it doesn't matter. We're getting past it. I like it, personally. All right, so this is card number 14. 14 breaks down into a 5, which is the number of change for those of you who are numerologically inclined. I am going to read from the text so you'll know what Miss Fairchild wanted for you to know. All right, on the path of life, there are deciding moments where we can choose to go with the mainstream, or we can dare to take bolder, more authentic and trusting ways, even if it seems riskier or less safe. To rely solely on logic and science without incorporating the mysterious and magical is a recipe for existence that is far too dry. Again, talking about your mind, your mental, being able to get in control of the thoughts. So this is asking you to go beyond that, even go beyond your own thoughts, which is a step further for you. You could say that the choice is about balance. It's less about choosing to honor either art or science, gardening or architecture, and more about integrating all approaches so that you enhance rather than hinder your life journey. And is that what we were talking about when we were talking about the many paths, right? Many paths to get to what you need to get to. Placing science or architecture, quote unquote, above all else kills off the rebellious heart. Steadfastly relying on logic, proof, and a complete set of plans to measure and dictate outcomes will suffocate the soul. Basing decisions on limited factors with an imbalanced measure of success is unnecessarily limiting. This approach prevents us from living freely, spontaneously, and with trust, so that we can rebel against the need for things to go strictly according to plan. Choose to value decisions based on passion and instinct and trust in life in order enough to embrace it as an adventure and let it unfold as it will. So we are letting life unfold in July. You are, again, working on those mental processes. I recommend that you do some meditation during the month or throughout the month, just so that you can clear away thoughts and get clear about thoughts that you're having. And again, giving yourself a chance to get past the thoughts so that you can really open yourself up to the messages that Spirit has for you. All right, Libra, I hope you have enjoyed this reading. If you want to go a little deeper into a deeper dive or a deeper realm or deeper into yourself, you can reach out to me. I'm at Kerri, Kerri at wooingnature.life. As always, I hope you have a great July, and I hope you're having a wonderful life.